In today's gospel, we have this story of the Good Samaritan. One of the things about parables is that Jesus uses everyday occurrences, everyday objects to develop his parables. They're not esoteric. They're not like, wow, I've never thought about that, but they're always from experiences in life. So the famous story is that Jesus never talked about money, but that's not true, because money is a part of our everyday experience, and so Jesus certainly did talk about money. But the other thing that he talked about in this parable is going down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and it is going down. It is going from 2,500 feet above sea level to 850 feet below sea level in a short period of about 40 kilometers or about 24 miles. And so it's very rugged, it's a very dry, deserty area that you go through. Jericho, if you go to Jericho, it has a sign that says the oldest city in the world. It's been inhabited for over 12,000 years, continuous habitation. It is traditionally kind of thought of as a place of sin, because here you're going up to Jerusalem, you're rising up to Jerusalem, but you're going down to Jericho. So Jericho was always kind of thought of as that place of sin. The other thing about this particular gospel that you want to get away from is what my friend Monsignor Charles Pope says, is that Jesus tells us to do good. Let's do good. That kind of oversimplified platitude with regard to the Good Samaritan. But there are a couple of things you can take from this particular gospel. One is that you take a look at the Samaritans. The Samaritans were there. They were a breed of people. When the Assyrians came in, they sent away many of the Jews. They became the lost tribes. They sent in people from Assyria to intermarry, to intermix. When there was a problem with lion attacks in the Samaria, they sent back the priests from Assyria to go back and to teach the people. So a little bit of the God of Israel, a little bit of Assyrian type things. It's kind of a mixed area. So they were not well liked at all. So here the Samaritan is going down. The priest and the Levite are going down. So they're going, in a way, the wrong direction. They couldn't help the victim, because the robber, because they're going in the wrong direction as well. The priest was the one who was offering sacrifice in the temple. The Levite were the people who were assisting in music or in administration, all those kinds of things in the temple. They were assisting in those. They didn't want to touch a dead body. Why the body could be dead. So, if not, they would be undefiled. So let's just not bother. So let's just walk on by. But the Samaritan acts with mercy. And so the Samaritan is that one who is acting with that mercy, takes the person upon the donkey, brings them to the inn, gives them the money for the inn, says, if you need any more, I'll be back. And so it's not just a matter of loving those who love us. It's not a matter of saying Jesus calls us to be loving to people, let's love people. But to even go out of our way to love people who we may not necessarily meet or greet or want to meet or greet. One of the problems today is it just kind of came to my mind that there's more segregation now than in the past. And that's what I've found in looking up in the internet, is that there is increasing amount of segregation in the United States. The other thing that you have in the United States is people separating themselves by their ideology. So it used to be that people were friends, they could battle it out in Congress, and then go out and have a dinner or have a beer or have a coffee, with the people who they had just had this vigorous debate with. But now today, what happens is, again, there's this separation. There's not a lot of people who are conservative who have liberal friends, or liberal who have conservative friends. And so it's this separation. So going out of your way to not only to love those who love you, but also to think about the people who maybe not disagree with you, and then show them love and respect as well. The other thing that's important to think about in this gospel is that a lot of the early church fathers saw the Samaritan as being Jesus himself. So the Samaritan is the one who shows that great mercy, who shows the mercy when people and individuals walk on by. It's God himself who shows that mercy. It's God himself who redeems the person, who brings them back to wholeness, who brings healing. So all those kind of things that Jesus does is kind of in a way reflected in the parable of the Good Samaritan. And so one of the things that we also need to do and always need to be mindful of is that if we have a situation where someone is sick because of illness or because of mental illness, or they're stuck in their situation, or they have all kinds of issues and problems and difficulties that seem to be impossible, and that it's easy just to walk on by, the one thing that we can do, even if they reject any of the help that we offer to them, the one thing we can do is bring them to the Lord Jesus and bring them up in prayer and lift them up in prayer to the one who is able to help, who is able to assist, who is able to go beyond just the natural means supernaturally in giving them assistance. Thanks. God bless.